If you've spent the last month optimizing your resume, tweaking every bullet point and praying for a response, only to be met with total silence, I want you to stop for a second. Pull up a chair, because the problem isn't your resume. And honestly, it's probably not your experience either. If you're feeling like you're shouting into a black hole, you're not alone. And you're not crazy. I've been in this industry for 15 years. I've seen the cycles come and go. But what's happening right now, it's different. The standard job market hasn't just slowed down. It's been automated by an invisible layer of AI agents that most people don't even know exist. Let that sink in for a moment. We're looking at a reality where 83% of enterprises are now using AI to screen resumes. That's nearly double what it was just 2 years ago. And here's the part that hits home. 65% of employers are using these systems to auto-reject candidates without a single human being ever looking at your name. You aren't failing the system. The system is working exactly as it was designed to keep you out of the $15 trillion invisible economy. The numbers are staggering. The median duration for a job search to reach a first offer has climbed to 83 days. That's a 45% increase in just a year. People are tired. They're stressed. They're wondering if they've lost their edge. But the candidates who are actually breaking through, they aren't playing the same game you are. They've stopped trying to look like the perfect algorithm and started looking for the back door. So if the standard path is a dead end, what are the people landing those $400 offers actually doing? How are they bypassing the algorithms entirely? It's not about working harder. It's about understanding the hidden logic that the rest of the world is missing. Let's talk about what's actually happening behind those closed corporate doors. We've entered the era of the shadow market. For years, we were told that being a team player and documenting our workflows was the path to security. But in 2026, that's a dangerous trap. See, companies aren't just hiring people for tasks anymore. They're building autonomous B2B agents. They're taking the data you provide, the workflows you document, the Slack messages you send, the wikis you write, and they're using it to train agents that can negotiate deals you'll never see in markets you don't even know exist. We're talking about a projected $15 trillion in B2B purchase volume that will be mediated entirely by AI agents by 2028. Fortune 500 companies are already seeing 15 to 30% cost savings by using these autonomous negotiation agents. They don't need a middle manager to approve a SaaS license anymore. An agent negotiates with another agent, and the deal is done in milliseconds. This is why major software players are seeing their valuations drop, because the per-seat model is dying. If an agent doesn't need a seat, why pay for the software? Here's the part that most people miss. While you're focused on output, the company is focused on extraction. If your value can be captured in a process document, it's already been commoditized. When I first saw this shift in recruiter data, it changed how I think about everything. It's not about being the best at the job anymore. It's about being the person the agents can't replace. So if the old model is dying, how do the top 1% of earners keep their value? How do they stay visible when the system is designed to make them obsolete? They've realized that the more transparent you are, the easier you are to scrape. They've moved from being knowledge sharers to something much more powerful. But the people making the real money right now, the ones securing those $400 packages, aren't the ones building the AI. That's a common misconception. The real winners are what I call market architects. Think about it. When you have trillions of dollars flowing through autonomous agents, things break. Algorithms collude, revenue leaks, and when the AI starts making decisions that bankrupt the company, someone has to be there to police it. This is where strategic audit comes in. I'm seeing senior AI governance leads and market architects commanding base salaries of $250,000 and up. Their total compensation is 30 to 50% higher than standard software architects. Why? Because they aren't working on the 95% of the work that AI can do. They're focused on the 5% of risk mitigation logic that no LLM can replicate. These professionals are the trust architects. They don't just write code. They audit the logic of the agents to ensure they aren't stealing from the company or hallucinating a bad deal. They are the human in the loop that makes the whole system viable. Let that number sit for a second. $250,000 just to be the one who says no. The algorithm is wrong here. It's a shift from execution to oversight. They aren't working harder. They've just realized that in an automated world, the most valuable thing you can offer is the ability to prove that the automation is safe. This isn't just for tech people either. I've seen this in legal, in finance, even in supply chain management. If you can audit the parts of the business that AI is quietly breaking, you become indispensable. The secret isn't just working with AI, it's knowing exactly how to catch it when it fails. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. There's a massive gap between the hype of AI and the reality of production. You hear about these miracle agents every day, but did you know that 95% of AI agent projects never actually reach production? They fail because they lack governance. They fail because a single data hallucination can result in millions of dollars in losses, like the mid-sized SaaS provider that recently lost $2.5 million in IP because of one bad agent output. This failure rate is your greatest opportunity. We are moving from an era of output volume to risk mitigation. For the last decade, the goal was to produce more, faster. But now, volume is free. AI can produce infinite volume. What's expensive, what's rare is correctness. That's why there's a 28% salary premium for roles that explicitly require AI governance and auditing skills. Companies are panicking. They've built these massive automated systems, and now they realize they don't have enough humans who understand how to control them. If your value can be described in a simple prompt, you've already been replaced by a ghost. But if your value is in the gray area, the intuition that tells you a deal looks too good to be true, or the networking required to verify a source, you are the safe harbor. The shift from execution to orchestration is the only way to stay relevant. You have to stop being the one who does the work and start being the one who policies the agents doing it. So how do you actually apply this starting tomorrow morning? How do you move from being a scraped employee to a market architect? It comes down to 3 concrete steps. First, you need to rewrite your professional profile. Stop using the same keywords that every AI resume builder suggests. Those just make you look like an algorithm, and algorithms are easy to filter out. Instead, emphasize agentic literacy and orchestration. Use terms like risk mitigation logic and algorithmic auditing. Show that you understand the 95% failure rate and that you are the solution to it. Second, identify the shadow markets in your current role. Where is the company using automation that isn't being double-checked? Find the revenue leakage. Find the places where the AI is hallucinating or where the data is dirty. If you can point to a specific risk you've mitigated, you've just proven your value is non-reproducible. Finally, pivot your resume to show non-reproducible impact. Don't talk about the scripts you wrote. Talk about the problems you solve through intuition and human-centric networking. One recruiter told me recently, we hire for the logic that isn't in the documentation. That needs to be your mantra. Your goal this week isn't to work faster. It's to become the trust architect who owns the final verification that the AI simply cannot perform. Stop optimizing to look like an algorithm and start proving why an algorithm could never audit itself. This isn't easy, but the people who figure this out, they're the ones getting the call packs. They're the ones moving into the invisible tier where the real growth is happening. I've seen this play out 100 times. The rules have changed, but the opportunity is bigger than ever if you know where to look. I'll see you in the invisible tier.